They say when the lion roars, the grass trembles. But today, the grass is speaking and it is not silent. My people, this is Arise News, and we bring you a first-hand account from Rev Ezekiel Dachomo, a pastor in Nigeria, speaking on the recent wave of Fulani attacks targeting Christian communities. His words are raw, direct, and unfiltered. We will never bow down to Allah or convert to Islam. Allah is a blood-sucking demon. That's why his members chant Allahu Akbar before slaughtering innocent Christians and embark on killings. Before we go deeper, I want you to pause and watch the video circulating online. Listen to his tone, the fear, the urgency, and the gravity of what he's describing. This is not just rhetoric. These are people living under daily threat, speaking from a place of survival.
It has been on social media. They say they finish their fasting, they will come for us. And we are going to be ready for them. Already they have brought machineries. From Sokoto, they are doing their fasting here. From Zamfara, the insurgents that are receiving heat, they have arrived Plateau. The day before yesterday, I managed to board 9 people. The 3 people that they say we are the one that removed their head, it's a lie. They're framing up. Our friends among the Fulanis. It's a fight between Fulani and Fulani youth. And they blackmail us that we are the one that caused it. I was challenging the Fulani. Where is the chairman, Miyati Allah, of Barkeladi local government that was killed last year? Where is he? Who killed him? Iruga? It is the Fulani that kills him. None of them spoke about the killing of the chairman. The chairman of Miyati Allah, a friend of mine, Mohammed. We attend meeting together. We work out how to bring peace in Bakiladi, and we succeeded. And some of them were not happy. The issue of cattle rustling was stopped. Killing either the Fulani or the Biram was stopped. And they think they can deceive the world with forceful propaganda that the Biram people kill their people. Let them produce who killed the chairman, Miyati Allah, and his family are reckoning up to date. They are going to take revenge. The military knows. A Fulani man doesn't forgive like that. The family of former chairman of Miyati Allah, they are waiting to fight back. And they know those that did that among them. The thing we don't know what is happening. We have informers among them. And now if they want to cause war, they will start by killing themselves, because they know we don't have the spirit of killing them. We don't have that spirit. Because they are hungry of blood, they will start by killing themselves and say it's reprisal. They will say it's reprisal. After causing damage for us in Doganawa, nemesis catch up with them. They were guilty. They don't feel like to stay. They relocate to Bauchi, Marabangumo, to Misali. It is from there they are coming to kill us in the state. Because of guilt. And they are saying that they are doing reprisal. We refuse to be Islamic. We will never bow down to Allah. Allah is a demon. That is why when Allah wants to suck blood, He tells His members, chant Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, before they embark on killings, so that Allah will suck blood. We have never visited Uruga, and we will never, because our faith in Jesus doesn't give us the power to go and kill, but our faith in Christ gives us the power to preserve, to do the work of the soul.
Reverend Dachomo continues, they said that after their fasting, they would come for us and resume the killings, but this time we will be ready for them. They have already brought in more armed Fulani mercenaries from Sokoto and other states to fight and kill us. The warning is stark, and it paints a picture of escalating tensions. Now, let's unpack what this means. Communities in Plateau, Kaduna, and other parts of central Nigeria have faced repeated attacks over the past years. Many of these attacks involve herders and armed groups often linked to Fulani militias. While official government statements often label these as banditry or ethnic clashes, the reality on the ground, as described by Reverend Dachomo, shows that civilians perceive these as targeted, religiously motivated campaigns. The pastor's testimony raises urgent questions for protection, accountability, and early warning systems. How can local, state, and federal authorities ensure that vulnerable communities are not left defenseless? Why are armed groups moving across states with apparent freedom to conduct raids? And most importantly, why do civilians feel the need to arm themselves preemptively rather than rely on state security? These are questions that go to the heart of governance and security in Nigeria. Arise News is committed to unpacking these developments responsibly. We need to recognize the fear and trauma expressed in Dachomo's statement, while also placing it in context. The Nigerian government has limited resources, yet the expectation from citizens is total protection. The tension between government capacity, local militias, and communal defense has never been more visible. As we continue this analysis, I want viewers to consider the human cost. These are men, women, and children who wake up every day wondering whether they will survive the next attack. When religious identity intersects with violence, the stakes are existential and the trauma is generational. Later in this report, we'll examine what measures have been taken by the federal government, the state security agencies, and local communities to mitigate this threat, including intelligence operations, community vigilantes, and proposed policies for conflict resolution. But for now, the key takeaway is this: people are speaking out because their lives are under direct threat, and the international community as well as the Nigerian authorities cannot afford to look away. One sharp question for you, our viewers: how should the Nigerian government balance the need for security with the rights and freedoms of communities caught in these violent crossfires? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is a conversation that affects all of Nigeria, not just the communities directly impacted. So, pause this video, watch the original clip of Reverend Dachomo, absorb the context, and return here for the breakdown. Later, we'll analyze how local defenses, federal responses, and ongoing intercommunal tensions could shape the next phase of these crises, and why accountability and rapid response remain non-negotiable for the safety of Nigerian citizens. Stay with Arise News.